gonna be there soon. In my ticket to the moon.
I was wondering, especially a movie with such heavy themes and a movie that's so inspiring for young girls, are you excited about the fact that in this day and age, it's going straight to a platform that will be shown to people all around the world?
That's the best. I mean, that's really so cool. And, you know, that we can all have this and we can all enjoy this. And that makes it so special, you know, and I think it's something that's so needed right now. We need some hope, we need some optimism, we need some entertainment, and we need something that we can all share.
Yeah, this was always planned for Netflix family at home. So from its inception, and you know, and as a father of two daughters, 13-year-old daughters, both Asian American, you know, to give them, you know, something, you know, to see very strong female science-minded character of Asian descent, you know, that's what I want my daughters to be like. Fei. You want, you know, to have strong female Asian American role models in film, TV, and comedy, like Margaret, like Sandra Oh, you know, like Awkwafina. That's what I want for my kids.
It's incredible to know that, you know, young Asian people, young Chinese people would be able to look at this film and say, oh my gosh, that looks like me. I see myself in that character. Especially since, and we've been talking about this, but as kids, we didn't really have a lot of Asian role models to look up to. So, you know, certainly if I were a kid and I were seeing this movie, I would be completely obsessed with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only is it inspirational for Asian Americans, young Asian Americans especially, to see this, but it's important. I heard recently, you can't be it till you see it. And for me growing up, I always kind of viewed myself as a supporting role in my own life, because I always, you know, that's how we were represented on in the media. And so I just know that having these incredible, strong, smart, filled with love characters is just going to be life-changing for so many people.
I love the fact that where this film is being seen is in living rooms all around the world, in the languages all around the world, and presenting an image of a culture that to me was, I didn't understand. I didn't know China until I went there and had dinner in families' homes with the grandparents and the aunts and the uncles, and the frank honesty and the way love was communicated. It was so fresh and wonderful to me. Our team was mostly Asian. My producers were, and the artists were. I felt like we are telling a story from the Chinese point of view back to the world. This is not like a Western approach of making a movie in the United States and then presenting it out there.
I feel actually really lucky that it's coming out on Netflix. I mean, everyone in the world deserves to be able to enjoy some stories safely right now. And what better than a story about, sadly, like these people who are experiencing loss and grieving, coming together and healing. And so I think like families who can connect with each other through this movie, sitting down on a couch together and just feeling people beside them is so important for the world right now, especially.
What really attracted me was not only the story and the script, but, you know, also this cast of, you know, this all Asian American cast of, you know, my dear friend Margaret Cho and John Cho, Sandra Oh, Phillipa Soo of Hamilton, Cathy Ang, who played Fei. It really is top to bottom just one of the most talented casts I've ever worked with. So it reminds me of Crazy Rich Asians, where John Chu of Crazy Rich Asians says, it's not a movie, it's a movement. And it feels like that in the world of animation.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that it is by far the first animated feature film about a young Chinese girl becoming an aerospace engineer. So it's such a quirky thing that this is your first, starring role in a major motion picture with this huge cast, but you don't spend time on set with them. Did you get to interact with any of these amazing actors at all?
Got to work with Phillipa. Because we're both based in New York, we're doing theater. She actually got in the studio with me, and that was an amazing experience. I mean, like, you can tell from this movie, but like Phillipa is an actual goddess, and so watching her work was a masterclass in acting, and she's so smart and poised and witty. I learned a lot just by watching her. I think everyone in the world is gonna want to be Chang'e after watching this movie. Yeah, and honestly, like in the studio, it was quite distracting how good she was. I couldn't focus on voicing things because of it.
Given the fact that I'm familiar with both of you from live action, what's it like in contrast being in the booth and getting into character? Does it feel similar, the process?
I think it's a lot more similar to theater in expressiveness, but it is a little bit more isolated, which tends to be like, you know, a little bit more of the experience of film. But it's totally different. I mean, you're alone in a booth. You're acting like a whack job. You're acting like a total goon, and you're being paid for it. And you can go, it's limitless. Animation is limitless. So you can do whatever you want. You can go huge, you can go so small and intimate and really grounded. And that's what I love about doing animation.
It's actually, you know, it's so great to be able to have the perspective of both sides. And, you know, coming from the theater, I've realized like so much of my performance is on me, that I'm in complete control of like the performance and the character that you see. I am the creator, I'm the editor. Once the director leaves, I'm, you know, kind of the director as well. So like once you get into the studio, you have a very small part in expressing your voice and trying to embody this character. And then that is taken into the hands of a separate editor and animator who make this performance together. So it's really such a great collaboration. And I think that's what's so exciting about it, is that, you know, for me, getting to see the end product from me being like in my sweatpants, like with some headphones on, to like the goddess Chang'e and her beautiful entrance and the concert of a lifetime, you know, was so crazy to me. And that's what made me realize like, oh, this is why I love this medium. I love animation because of that.
There is, I mean, the amazing thing about animation is that there's no limits to the storytelling, you know. I'm used to working on the stage, but animation is larger than life sometimes. I mean, for Feifei and Chang'e, they're on a different world. So I think this was really an exercise in how big can you go at different times, which is really cool. I just got to play, and Glenn, our amazing director, legendary Glen Keane, like he was our guide the entire way. Like he knows how to paint the picture of the world around you. So he honestly made the job easy.
I think of the story almost like it's a visual poem. We tell it through emotion, through songs. We lift you up through songs, and there's joy and surprise and wonder in dealing with such a difficult subject. I have to go back to Audrey Wells, who wrote this script knowing that she would not live to see the film finished, and that she was writing this for her daughter to deal with the loss, and that to learn to love somebody new, to be open to someone new coming into her life. And she passed away 2018. And I'll never forget just talking to her for the last time, and we talked about Wizard of Oz. And I said, you talked about it being a dream. And she said, no, it wasn't. It's not a dream. I said, what? Do you really think that Audrey also, I mean, that Feifei goes to the dark side of the moon and comes back, and she really goes there? Of course, don't you? And she had this childlike wonder in her eyes. And I just thought, I am going to tell this story with such sincerity that the audience can decide whether it happened or not.
Whoa. What in the world?
Is that a box of mooncakes behind you?
Yeah, well, there's no more mooncakes. I ate them all. But, but I kept the box because it's so beautiful.
I'm keeping these sweet moon pants. Dig it.